Okay, this is the breakdown exercise for the bouncing ball. Um, as usual, my fasteners, 2-hole punch, my pencil, and I have 30 sheets of paper that I've already punched. Okay, alright, let's get these out of the way. Alright, so for our first sheet of paper, again, I make sure that the holes are facing me. Somehow I've misplaced my ruler, so I'm just going to use my protractor. No big deal. Inconvenient, but still not a big deal. Alright. I'm just going to make it a little dark. I like the lines, so I'm going to make it a little bit darker now. You guys wouldn't have that much difficulty as I would if you have your ruler, okay? Alright. So that's the first thing. I'm going to create a horizontal line. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to create 4 arcs to simulate the bounce of the ball. And I'm going to start where the first bounce, the ball is coming out of shot. So off the screen, right? Alright, so first arc, off the screen. It starts off the screen. It's about the paper cuts the arc in half. The second arc, you would have seen this from our reference videos that we would have created. The second arc is not as high as the first. Third arc, as you would assume, not as high as the second arc, but the base of it as well. It's the width of the base is smaller than the width of the base of the second arc, right? In the third arc, as you would assume, shorter than the third arc, the fourth arc, shorter than the third arc, and the width of the base of the fourth arc is smaller than the width of the base of the third arc, right? And as we know, one of the principles of animation is arcs. Most stuff happen in life, most movement happen in life, they simulate an arc, right? So that's what we're doing here. We're just creating an arc that is similar to that bounce. Alright, the next thing we need to do is to mark off the points where the ball will be. Of course, one mark will be right here at the top of the arc, and another one. So let me get my blue China marker. Right, just so that I have a different color. The blue China markers are yeah, they're this one is Sharpie, and it peels off. So instead of sharpening it, you actually peel off. So it's pretty cool tool. All right, and just as before, like what we did with the pendulum, and similar to what was done in the wave cycle, we're gonna mark off halfway between this point and this point. Right. And again, guys, it's just a guesstimate, okay? Then we look at this point, these 2 points, and we're gonna mark halfway between them. And then between these 2 points, I mark halfway between them. And if you notice what I'm doing, I just have 3 points between the extremes, okay? So our key poses are the very top of the arc and the very bottom, very end of the mark, and I'm just doing 3 marks in between. So I'm going to do the same thing with this half of the arc. I'm going to mark the position for the top, halfway between the 2, 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 halfway between the 2. We're going to continue that around. Not an exact science, guys. So you don't have to worry. It's just an estimate as to where the object will land, okay? Just so that we can get the timing right. So the reason why we're marking, we're favoring the top of the arc, that's because of gravity. When the ball bounces up, it's moving fast and then start get slower and slower and slower, and then when it gets to the top, it stops accelerating. Sorry, it stops decelerating and starts to accelerate. So then again, now the spacing is getting wider and wider and wider and wider until it lands. And then again, it bounces up and it's getting slower and slower and slower till it reaches the very pinnacle of the arc, and then starts to speed up again when it lands. Blah blah blah. Really. So this is what we're going to use as our guide for developing these the bouncing ball. All right, and as you can see again, just making sure keep note between the bottom and the top, there are 3 marks. 1, 2, 3. Top, bottom, 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 1, 2, 3. So always 3 marks between the top mark and the bottom mark, okay? Alright, let's get boogie. Alright, so position 1, we'll probably start out with about half of the ball, because it's off screen. That's one. Let's make note of that. Two. It's still pretty much a circle when it's coming down. Three. And I'm still gonna leave it as a circle. So three. Now we could test our animation. I'm just taking all three and then back down. You can once again use that rolling technique. You can have up to about 5 sheets of paper with the rolling technique, but I like to have like 3. Right, so we start at 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Alright. I think we're looking good. Mine isn't rolling. I don't know for some reason. Alright. So position number 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now by the time we get to 4, it's not exactly a circle anymore. It's more of an oval. Remember what we learned with squash and stretch. You want to try and keep the dimensions as close to the original shape as possible. So because we've squished the inside, the outside, the other end of the ball must squish out, right? So in and out. Alright, so that's 4. Now I'm fairly confident with my drawing, so I won't be testing anymore. But you guys can, as you go along, you can test using the rolling technique. You can test your animation as you go along. Now by the time we hit the ground, so the oval is going in the direction of the arc. And it hits the ground. Now because this is a bouncing ball, I almost forget the number. I seem to like to forget that number. Right? Because it's a bouncing ball, there's a lot of air in that ball. What's going to happen is it's going to end up depressed. Right? So we started it out with the oval in this direction along the line of the arc. And then where the ball is pressed has changed. So now it's going along the line of the horizontal line that we had created earlier, this line, that line. All right. And then now bouncing up at the beginning of the second arc. Alright, there we go. So midway through, good. Not forgetting the numbers. 5, 6, and placing them in order. 7, 8, by the time we get to 9, we can make the ball a circle or as close to a circle as we can go. Last track of my numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Get number 11 at the pinnacle. Of the second arc. It's just the same actions over and over again. I'm going to leave these two as circles. 12 will still be a circle. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Alright, by the time I get to 14, I'm going to be using an oval again. It's starting to speed up. And we're going to do the same thing when we hit the ground. We're going to be 3 drawings. We're going to be 3 drawings when we hit the ground. So the first one is in the direction of the second arc. What number? My goodness gracious. I'm forgetting. Alright, so 14. second one, when it hits the ground, is in the line of the horizontal line. And then 17, it's now heading back up, but now in the direction of the third arc. And 18 is also an oval. And by the time we get to 19, we're back to being a circle. Almost forgot to write the number. We have 20. There's a circle as well. One is on top. Two is a circle. Into 3 is also a circle. Into 4, an oval. And 5 is the first time we hit the ground. And 6 is the second drawing on the ground. Alright. 27, third drawing on the ground. Eight. Over. And 29. We go back as a circle. Now you can continue for the rest of that last arc. And the question that I leave you with is, what do you do with that end piece? How do you make the ball come to a stop? Now, one more thing I wanted to talk to you about is that I've made life much easier on us by simply making this arc and marking off the points. Now, if you didn't do this step, it's still not bad. What you can do is simply, and we do it like what the real traditional animators do, we actually create the drawing for 1, and we create the drawing for 5. We create the drawing for 1, we create the drawing for 5, and we draw halfway, create the drawing for halfway in between, right? And then we do the same again. So same steps, just instead of marking it off and then doing the drawing sequentially, like what we just did, you can actually create the first drawing and the 5th drawing, and then create the 4th drawing, then create the 3rd drawing, and then create the 2nd drawing. Right? And you can continue doing it. So it won't be in sequence. It would be 1, then 5, then 4, then 3, then 2. 1, then 6, 7, 8, 9. We do 1, sorry. So after you've done 5, then it would be, so after you've completed 2, then you'd create a drawing for 9, then for 6, then for 7, and 8. Right? And so on and so forth. So then you create the drawing for 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, well, 13. So, then 12, then 11, then 10. So, starting over, we create the drawing for 1, then we create 5, then 4, then 3, then 2. Then we create 9, then 6, then 7, then 8. Then we create 13, then 12, 11, 10. And so on and so forth for the rest of the arcs. So that's another method that can be used to create these drawings. That's it. Okay, this thing don't look like it wants to come together. And that's it for my breakdown on the bouncing ball. This is going to come out uneven. Right, that's my breakdown for the bouncing ball. And then following this, you'll have the breakdown, you'll have the execution of the animation in Toon Boom, and my hope is that I'll be able to create it in Flash as well, and you can find those on my YouTube channel. Alright,